Hi, I'm Alex for Teach Like This, and this is the Socratic Method. The way the Socratic Method was developed comes with this fun little anecdote. One day, the man goes to the oracle at Delphi and asks, who is the wisest man in Greece? The oracle says, Socrates. When Socrates found out, he was a little surprised. In fact, he thought it was a paradox. Wouldn't you have to be wiser than me in order to know how wise I am, in order to tell me that I'm the wisest? And thus began Socratic questioning. Another strong component of the Socratic Method is any child that discovers the question why. It's time for bed. Why? Because you need enough sleep for tomorrow. Why? Because otherwise you're going to be tired. Why? Okay, because I said so. The Socratic Method is really valuable in places where students are learning ethics. This might be in a civics class, or a law class, or a history class, or just as a teachable moment as kids are playing on the playground. The primary goal of this method is not to try to have students answer unanswerable questions. It's to have them think critically about difficult issues. In order to use the Socratic Method, follow these steps. Pick a controversial topic and provide questions for students, or have them develop their own questions, or develop questions as a class. The teacher is going to start out leading the discussion. However, as the year goes on, it'd be wonderful for students to start taking on the leadership role. After starting the initial open discussion, the leader's role has these following things. Keep the topic focused and don't allow tangents. Coax reluctant participants into the discussion, and limit contributions for dominating students. Force students to elaborate and clarify their contributions. As the discussion continues, at some point it's going to get confusing, so the leader's responsibility is to clarify, synthesize, and restate earlier opinions. The participants share in the responsibility of the Socratic discussion also. They must think and speak persuasively and use the discussion to support their opinion. That requires them to actively listen to the discussion in order to use it for support later. Participants must demonstrate respect for different thoughts, values, or ideas, and it's important they don't interrupt each other. The Socratic Method is also used in law schools, but with a little bit of a twist. In this case, the professor calls on a student at random and puts that student on the hot seat. The student then has to answer the question and all subsequent questions that the professor asks. The professor then takes the role of devil's advocate and forces the student to defend his or her opinion as the professor keeps on coming up with rebuting arguments. One hallmark of a Socratic question is there's no one right answer. As a recap, the Socratic Method is a strategy that challenges students' assumptions and causes them to think critically about difficult issues. In order to do it in your classroom, start with a good open-ended question, ask follow-up questions, and then summarize everything together at the end with different thoughts and new learnings. That's all for this video. If you have additional questions, you can connect with me on Twitter, or by email, or by commenting down below. And subscribe for weekly strategies in your newsfeed. I'm Alex, and that's Teach Like This.